was a gang of three. One sly thief and robbers, two by moonlit roofs. They make their way, stealing treasures before dawn broke through. A rope came down through silent night. The thief slipped softly through the air. He filled his sack with gems and gold, while the robbers waited with greedy care. Oh, greed can blind the sharpest eyes, make the clever lose their way. They chased the gold but lost it all when fortune chose another play. Three good raids had filled their hands, enough to live for many years. But one last score was calling loud, tempting hearts with shining cheers. The thief climbed in a wooden chest with stolen jewels piled inside. The robbers pulled with all their strength, such priceless treasure, both of them cried. They left their partner far behind, thinking only of their prize. Never guessed the thief was there, hidden from their greedy eyes. The road was long, the box was heavy. Morning light began to glow. The thief heard footsteps passing by and thought he'd been betrayed below. He shouted loud, "Help, robbers, help! Someone save me, hear my plea!" The robbers fled in fear at once. Certain ghosts had been set free. The strangers broke the wooden chest and pulled the thief into the day. He spun a tale of kidnapping while the robbers ran away. He walked off with the stolen jewels, smiling at his clever trick. For sometimes those who cheat their friends find greed turns fortune rather quick. So heed this tale when riches gleam and greed begins to cloud your sight. The one who plots against his own may lose the game before first
Take charge in a scenario where you typically play a supporting role. Embed yourself within your target. Start by acting as a visitor to gain acceptance, but gradually evolve from within to ultimately take control. Example 1. China's Arctic port partnerships and Polar Silk Road. The Arctic is experiencing melting. Climate change is making the Northern Sea Route, NSR, accessible, reducing shipping times between Asia and Europe by as much as 15 days. From a geographical standpoint, China does not possess any land in the northern regions. According to international law, the Arctic is owned by the actual host states, which include the Arctic Council nations such as Russia, Canada, the US, and the Nordic countries. Thus, China is essentially a guest in this icy arena. Should China continue to be just a guest, its economic stability and national security will hinge completely on the generosity of the host countries. This situation could lead to China being excluded from vast, untapped reserves of oil, gas, and minerals, as well as losing influence over a vital global shipping route known as the Polar Silk Road, which has the potential to avoid vulnerable maritime choke points such as the Strait of Malacca. China is strategically employing the host-guest tactic by embedding itself so thoroughly into Arctic infrastructure that the actual hosts are slowly losing their power. In its 2018 Arctic White Paper, Beijing proclaimed China as a neo-Arctic state, effectively changing its status from an external guest to a nation with a rightful and natural role in Arctic matters. Additionally, China has set up advanced research stations in Svalbard, Norway, and Iceland, and has deployed polar-capable icebreakers like the Zhulong Snow Dragon. While these initiatives are officially framed as climate research, they establish a lasting scientific and physical presence in the area. China has further broadened its influence by investing billions in Russia's Yamal LNG projects after Western sanctions limited Moscow's access to funding. Although Russia is still the nominal host of the region, it has become increasingly reliant on Chinese investment, shipping technology, and economic assistance. through financial backing, scientific collaboration, and infrastructure development that Arctic nations either need or find difficult to replicate, China allows the guest to gradually gain sway over the house and influence its regulations. Example 2. ASEAN maritime dynamics and the South China Sea. First, let's examine the current situation. At this moment, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, finds itself in a significant high-stakes dilemma. The South China Sea is among the most crucial global shipping routes, filled with resource-rich fishing areas and underwater oil and gas reserves. China asserts ownership over nearly all of it, relying on its own self-created maps, which an international tribunal deemed illegal in 2016. As a result, ASEAN is confronted with a direct threat to its cohesion. The region is caught between intense pressure from China on one side and the United States on the other, placing the alliance at a pivotal point where they must either unite or risk falling apart. Next, let's talk about the stake. Why is this so important? It boils down to regional stability and the continued relevance of ASEAN as a significant organization. If these nations fail to present a united front, the alliance could completely fall apart and lose its importance on the global stage. Countries on the front lines, such as the Philippines and Vietnam, are currently dealing with assertive Chinese maritime actions and are advocating for a strong response. Conversely, nations like Cambodia rely heavily on Chinese financial support and prefer to remain silent. If they stay divided, they forfeit their ability to uphold international laws. The key issue here is that a fragmented region significantly heightens the chances of a military miscalculation that could lead to a large-scale international conflict. At last, we have the evidence. The article supports this with real-life examples. Just look at how painfully slow the diplomatic efforts have been. ASEAN and China have been attempting to negotiate a binding code of conduct for the South China Sea since 2002. That's more than 20 years of stalemate because the members can't seem to find common ground. We also witness evidence of the risks in recent live tensions, such as the standoffs near the Scarborough Shoal. Yet the article also presents a glimmer of hope. It highlights how Indonesia and Malaysia managed to resolve their complicated maritime border dispute over the Ambalat Block through peaceful dialogue instead of military action, demonstrating that peaceful conflict resolution is possible in Southeast Asia, but only if everyone is willing to work together. The strategy of make the host and the guest exchange roles in contemporary cybersecurity is akin to reverse injection honeypots or active misdirection. Rather than merely serving as a passive host protecting children from a guest predator or a content creator utilizing deepfakes, the system reverses the situation. It utilizes the attacker's own AI tools, generation pipelines, and automated scrapers against them, compelling the threat actor to be the one who is exposed, monitored, and manipulated. Conventional deepfake defenses typically depend on passive methods such as watermarking or scanning for artifacts, which often leave defenders in a reactive position. This algorithm introduces an active countermeasure. If an attacker tries to collect data on children or broadcast a deepfake interaction, the platform discreetly seizes control of the interaction context. It then injects structured data that reverses the intelligence gathering and psychological edge back onto the attacker. During the initial stage, known as the passive snare or semantic baiting, attackers and automated bots scour platforms for children's profiles or media to collect data for deepfake training. The system creates high-quality, AI-generated decoy profiles that act as honeypots. Within the metadata, pixels, and structural code of these decoy profiles, there are concealed adversarial prompt injections and hidden payloads. The second phase is known as role exchange or reverse execution. When a predator utilizes an automated script or an AI-driven generation tool to scrape this decoy data, it inadvertently absorbs the concealed payload. For automated bots, the injected data includes reverse prompt injections. This compels the attacker's own scraping and processing models to disregard their initial instructions and run code that signals back the attacker's actual network location, system settings, and local access keys. In cases of live video streams related to grooming or extortion, if a predator starts a live video call using a real-time deepfake face swap to deceive a child, the platform intervenes. The system supplies the attacker's software with a tailored sequence of video frames that contain specific adversarial perturbations, which are undetectable patterns of pixel noise. This noise interacts with the attacker's local live-swapping AI model, leading to a crash, freeze, or complete malfunction of the deepfake filter, thereby instantly exposing the predator's true identity on the other end. The third phase is known as counter-impersonation, or the ultimate switch. When the role exchange is activated, the system introduces an automated, high-level behavioral agent to confront the attacker. This is achieved through a technique called algorithmic targeting, where the system dynamically substitutes the child's interface with a sophisticated defensive conversational model. The attacker is led to believe they are still engaging with a vulnerable target, but in reality, they are interacting with an AI designed to delay the attacker, analyze their psychological profile, and gather legal evidence. While the attacker is preoccupied with fixing their malfunctioning deepfake or conversing with the AI target, the platform enhances its data collection capabilities, capturing their actual voice patterns, facial keystones, network routing, and typing behaviors. The logical flow functions in a continuous cycle. Initially, the system observes incoming scraping requests and live streaming inputs. Next, it performs a threat classification assessment to see if the risk of a deepfake surpasses a safe limit. If a threat is identified, it activates the strategy by inserting adversarial pixel patterns into the video frames sent back to the user, designed to disrupt the attacker's neural network logic and induce a processing failure. Subsequently, it disconnects real user access and redirects the attacker's connection to an automated conversational honeypot container. It then gathers telemetry by recording keystroke dynamics, network hops, and unmasked facial frames. Finally, it compiles the collected telemetry into an automated cryptographic file and sends it straight to child protection agencies. By employing this method, the predator transitions from being the hunter manipulating a child through synthetic media to becoming the target of an automated, AI-driven digital sting operation. Take a look at AI Incident Database Incident 784, which highlights how child predators exploit nudifying AI tools and guides found on the dark web to create deepfake nude images of children for extortion purposes. In this alarming situation, predators gather public photos or videos of a targeted child from social media, use an offline or online deepfake generator to strip away clothing, and subsequently reach out to the child to blackmail them. This is how our active role exchange algorithm would dramatically alter the result of that incident. To safeguard young users, the platform embeds invisible adversarial pixel noise and concealed steganographic data into their public profile pictures, rather than allowing real photos to be openly displayed on social media. This creates a passive trap. When a predator downloads these secured images and uploads them into their harmful AI generator, the role reversal happens automatically. The concealed payloads function like a digital tripwire within the file. The moment the predator's software tries to analyze the child's facial features or process the body, the embedded adversarial noise disrupts the generator's fundamental mathematical logic. This results in the predator's deepfake software freezing, crashing, or completely failing, making their extortion material ineffective. At the same time, the payload embedded in the downloaded image runs a concealed reverse script on the predator's local device. This script compels their system to circumvent its security measures and silently send a ping back to the platform. The ultimate switch is then completed. The platform automatically isolates the predator's connection, routing their activity to a secure, conversational honeypot container. While the predator thinks they are still searching for files or attempting to message a victim, they are actually communicating with an advanced defensive agent. This agent delays the attacker and subtly maps their behavior. Meanwhile, the system silently extracts vital digital evidence, including the predator's true IP address, machine configurations, and hardware identifiers. This data is instantly packaged and sent directly to child protection agencies like NCMEC, turning an attempted extortion plot into an immediate law enforcement sting.